Concrete Castles have also released their debut album, Wish I Missed You.
Put your heart back on your sleeve and now. Bleeding out, lose my control.
I'm going to start out this discussion by saying that I should have seen this band live in Boston on October 5th. I had a ticket, but I wasn't able to go, and I'm really upset. That's all. I should have seen this band live because I really wanted to see this band live, and Against the Current. If you missed our July recap, Against the Current's new EP, Fucks, and they were on tour together, and I really wanted to go to that show, and things just didn't work out, and I couldn't go, and I'm mad. I was also low-key hoping that I could get to meet the guys from Concrete Castles and Audra and I forget what the other names of their guitar and drummer are. But I was checking their Instagram story one day, and someone posted my Good Shit My Deed playlist and said, whoever's playlist this is, I'm obsessed. And I just wanted to introduce myself to the band as, hey, that's my playlist, because I think that'd be really funny.
Yeah.
So next time Concrete Castles comes to Connecticut or Boston, I'm making a point to make that happen. I'm making it a point. I'm going to, it will happen eventually. But to start discussing this album, Behind Spirit Box, I'm gonna say this is my second favorite album of the month. It's tough for you, I know.
I am going to echo that sentiment.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Was AFK, and I do not know what you said, but I will also echo something that you said.
So Concrete Castles is your second favorite album of the month. Hell yeah.
Oh, no. I will not echo that. Sorry. Can I just want to... I have a quick thing about this album. I only listened to the one time. And I will say... I actually did save a song from this album, and it is the title track.
That song is so much of a whole ass vibe. I remember I said that exact same thing when we talked about Wish I Missed You last month when it dropped as a single. That title track is such a fucking vibe. It is so bouncy, it is so groovy. I think that song is stuck in my head more than any other song on this album. And it's yes. I wouldn't even say it's my favorite song here, but it got stuck in my head the more that I listened to it. It's so good.
My girlfriend saved this song too, so it's a good. Yeah.
I feel like I don't have a lot to say about individual songs here. I just think generally this album has like practically no flaws. This is pop rock at its finest.
Wait, there is one flaw. The day it was released.
Oh, true. You have a point. But, like, other than just an unfortunate release date, I really have nothing bad to say about this album. Every song here is fantastic. Like, I mean, as I said, I don't really have a lot to say about individual songs, but I feel like just about anyone can enjoy this album. It is super accessible.
Yeah.
And everyone is going to find at least one song that they like about it. Whether it's Wish I Missed You, which is just very much a vibe, or maybe like a Half Awake or a Porcelain, which gets a little bit heavier, or maybe it's something like a Suburbia or Atmosphere, which leans more into like a pop direction. I feel like there's something for everyone here, unless you're like a diehard metalcore fan only, and only metalcore. Because you're not getting any types
calling me out. Like I said, I like the song. Like,
well, no, I'm not calling you out because like I know you listen to other stuff, but I know there are people out there that listen to metalcore and only metalcore.
At Alan Harrington on Twitter.
Yeah, I'll let you have it in a moment, Derek. I got you. I really don't have anything bad to say about this album. It is fantastic from top to bottom. I don't think that it has the same heights as other albums I've heard this year, but the floor of this album is unbelievably high.
So, you said you didn't have much to say about individual songs. I want to put like 3 stars, and like I want to take a highlighter, put it over, and like I want to give a fucking gold medal to Porcelain
Saw
because
that one
that
coming.
ever since it came out has been like a top 5 song of the year for me, and that has not fallen off at all.
That is like I would definitely. I think I actually think that's my favorite song on this album. I think
For
Porcelain's
me,
my favorite.
it's
It's
like
so
it's
hard, though.
between that, Wish I Missed You, and maybe either Hidden Faces or Just a Friend. Which is the fucking 4 songs that open this album. So,
You're saying it's front heavy.
Yes, actually. You
Yes,
know what?
but
I'm
also
gonna go ahead and
no.
say that. No, I'm gonna say yes.
Okay, darn.
I think that Holding On is the only song through Suburbia that I'm not entirely sold on. The other 2 on this album being Thrill and Say It. And for me,
Man.
because I know.
Man.
You know what? You were talking about Eternal Blue, so it's my turn. No, how do I put this? I think that before I give my criticism of those songs, I want to say, first and foremost, that even having heard that Against the Current EP, this is my favorite example of a band doing pop rock in a long time, maybe ever.
All right, you've crossed a line there, my friend.
I know. And
You've crossed
I
a
think
line.
it really is among the, Fame on Fire, the Our Last Night. This is the best example of a band taking the pop sensibility that they gain from making covers and putting it into practice in such a fantastic, I think that inherently their style that they are going for here, this style of pop rock and how it's executed and the production notes throughout the album, it's flawless. I think that my issue with the Thrill and Say It is that they're almost too pop driven. I think that when you're making, and this I don't think maybe is something objectively as it is subjectively for me, that when I hear pop rock, I feel like there is a fine line into how much you balance the pop and the rock. And sometimes if you cross too far into the pop zone, and this is coming from somebody who really likes pop music and like follows Billboard charts and shit like that. But it was almost some of the elements in Thrill and Say It, kind of like with that anthemic chant in the background, was a little too like pop anthem for me.
You can't come after my anthemic chants like that.
I'm coming after your anthemic chants.
Bro.
I'm hunting them with a vengeance. It's open season on the anthemic chants right now.
Oh no.
You didn't have to say it like that.
But I mean, yeah, and that's like it was the same sort of thing that we were talking about with Spirit Box, where it's like, Holy Roller and Halcyon, maybe not as high on. There's still like 8, 9 out of 10 songs on what is otherwise a phenomenal album. It's the same sort of thing here. If I'm listening to this front to back, I'm not skipping Holding On, Thrill, or Say It, even though they're my least favorite tracks, because at my least favorite, they're still like an 8, 8.5 on 10. And the rest of this album is just so incredibly well done and polished and digestible and incredibly replayable. This is another debut album. I mean, I know they've had a lot of releases prior, but for the debut album for Concrete Castles and their first, to my understanding, debut full length of original material, I mean, it's just impeccable. So well executed. Even though it's my second favorite album, I think that this is probably the biggest recommend I have for this month, just because of the sheer accessibility of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
God, how do I respond to that? Anthemic chants are the key to my heart, and Thrill has them.
Yeah.
Period.
I mean, it's the same sort of thing with like that. My least favorite song off Pressure is what is it, Grave or whatever?
Oh, come
What's
on.
the one? What's the one with the?
You will never change.
Yeah, so that's my least favorite. I'm not an anthemic chant kind of guy, is what
And
it comes
I
down
very
to.
clearly am. And that's what it comes down to.
Disappointed.
I'm sorry.
God, where do I go from there? Trying to pick my favorite song on this album was actually really hard because, as I mentioned, I think this album has a very high floor, being that there is not a drop in quality on any of these 11 tracks here. But I also think that it doesn't really reach the peaks of a lot of my other favorite albums of this year. And I think that is what is going to hurt the most when I get to making my top 10 albums at the end of the year and this ends up at number 11. I'm calling it right now. It's going to fucking happen. And it's going to hurt my soul.
Stop that.
It's going to hurt my fucking soul.
Actually, I'm not going to lie. It might happen for me too. And I'm going to be pissed about it. I am going to make every possible effort to make this album end up in my top 10.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't, know that I have like struggled emotionally.
Yeah.
Like
I will struggle emotionally putting the top 10 albums of the year together this year more than any other year.
It's like what's that tweet? It's got the crying black dude with the gun, and it's like, when the race war happens, I'm gonna have to shoot Tony Hawk. This album is my Tony Hawk, and my top 10 albums are a race war. This is what this is coming down to. Was that reference too obscure? I think
I don't get the reference, but it was funny anyway. So
hold on. I gotta hit Google because now, without the reference, it's a little rough. Hold on.
While you're doing that, I said Porcelain. While you're doing that, I said Porcelain was like probably my favorite song here. I think I could give it to any of Porcelain, Thrill, Just a Friend, or Wish I Missed You. You ask me on any given day, and I can say any of those 4 songs, and I won't be mad at myself for picking any of them. Similarly, I don't really think I have a weakest song here. I don't think there's a weak link here. Like, when comparing to Spirit Box, which I think is the better album for my personal taste, I think that song has a much lower stretch of 3 songs on that album compared to this album here, which is crazy to think about. But every song is just consistently really fun, really enjoyable, super accessible. Yeah, it's fantastic. As I said, anthemic chants are the key to my heart, and Thrill has those, making it one of my favorites. There's so much catchiness going on in all of these songs. I think Just a Friend has one of the catchiest choruses I've heard all year.
Oh yeah.
I think Hidden Faces, again, similarly with the chants. It took me a few listens to kind of grow on it, but it's super bouncy. And then Say It as well. I think you said it leans more into the pop direction, which I definitely agree with. It goes into a bit of a strange drop with kind of more of an EDM structure.
Yeah.
And that clicked with me on first listen more than I expected it to. I really enjoy that song. I think if I had to pick a weak link, it's probably Atmosphere. Unfortunately, I think that song is great, but as I said, this album has such a high floor, and it just doesn't have as many peaks for me. So it's very it's just all consistently really fucking good. I wish I could have heard this live. I really wish I could have.
I'm upset for you.
Me too, because I remember you were a big part in encouraging me to get that ticket. And I got that ticket knowing that I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to go, but I knew if I got that ticket, I would have to force myself to try to figure it out instead of just inevitably be like, shucks, tickets sold out. Guess I'm not going. So, at least I made an attempt. You
tried your best, and that's what matters.
Yep.
Check this out. Check this album out if you haven't. Just so good.